So basically what we'll be doing in this part 2, is we'll be customizing our interface, which is customizing the workspace layout. We'll be adding and removing panels, and we'll be creating custom shells and hotkeys. Hotkeys can also be called shortcuts. So let's start with customizing our workspace layouts. Basically, I don't want to change anything. In fact, I can barely remember how this thing used to look when you first open it up, because I think when you upgrade your software, it maintains its settings, its customizations, and all that. So, but I'll show you how to really customize, if you want to customize your workspace. So modeling toolkit wasn't here. I think I brought it here. So you can close tab and let it go. You can it's all, your choice. You can actually move this channel box. Say you want to bring it down here, you can just drag it, from just drag. Okay, let's say attribute editor, I want to bring it out. You can drag it and bring it to wherever you want to bring it to. Say I want to bring it here, just an instance, so you want to bring it here, so that's something. So basically you can this wasn't here, so I can close it. So anyhow you want, what is comfortable, what is convenient for you. Just do whatever that is convenient for you, or whatever that is comfortable for you. That is the essence of this. So I would go to my hotkey and say edit and restore to my default, and say the outliner. If your outliner was not here, and probably you want it to be at the other side, maybe be amongst the one that you have here, then it is there. But I prefer that it is here. For me, it is here. And when you first open this stuff, I believe the outliner will not be there, so you can actually go to Windows and bring it out. Let's assume, let me just close this, it's not here. Now you can go to Windows and outliner and bring it here. So that is how to bring your outliners. It all depends on your preference, what you feel more comfortable with. But what I think is, whatever that you start with is what you become so comfortable with. I can barely or I rarely change my interface, because I'm so used to having it this way. Do you understand? So that is how I want my workspace layout to look like. The attribute wasn't here as well. I think I brought it here. So it all depends. You can let it float. You can just let it float, and whatever you want to do, just come here and do it, if you understand what I'm saying. So, but basically I prefer for it to be here. Oh, that's bad. Okay, let me maximize this. Then okay, I believe I'll just do this. Yeah, then I can maximize it back. So so that is this for your work layout or workspace layout. Adding and removing panels. This is one panel. This is one panel. You have your outliner here. You have your perspective view here. If you like this another template, you can have your front and your perspective here, and this is the work at the four views. You can have the all four here. While you work here, you work here, you work here. So it all depends on how you want your how you want your panels to be. So I can as well manipulate this, adjust this. Maybe I want this to be bigger and I want this to be tinier, or I could bring this here just to have my my perspective much more bigger, and whatever I create, I can see them here. You can see I can zoom this out in, so that I can see it vividly. So whatever you want, it all depends. Like I said, it all depends on your preference. And sometimes if you go to like this, we have another workspace here. So you can come and say let's say animation. If you go to animation, you can see I have my perspective here, then I have my graph editor here. You can still choose switch to time editor. So it all depends on how you want it to look like. It also depends on whatever you're working on, or whatever you are working with at that particular moment, just to make your work seamless or more smoother, instead of me having to open the graph editor separately. I can easily just see my graph editor, whatever animation that I'm making. Let's say I'm making an animation, come to say 10, and I have this here. And so instead of having to, this is my graph editor. So instead, imagine it was like this. Say I have it general, I have like this, and I have an animation like this. So instead of me having to go to Windows and go to animation editor and graph editor and now maximize this, so I can easily just have it down here. So whatever that I'm working on, it will be there. So that's the essence or the purpose of having to be able to customize or add more panels based on whatever you're working on. So that is it about adding and removing panels. So I can decide to remove this one here, just close tab. So I don't want to have this here. So I just want to work with my channel box and let's say attribute editor. So it all depends on your preference. So let's go to creating shelves and hotkeys. Like I said, you can have, I think in part one I said you can have a customized shelf. You can go to, I don't want to change anything, but you can actually go to settings here and say shelf editor. So here, this is what we have already. I have curve and surface, which is the first one here. I have poly modeling, which is what we have here. Then I have custom here. This is what I have here. So imagine you have a script for a plugin. You've written the script for a plugin and you want to move it, so you can actually drag it here. Say I have anything here, I can drag it. My middle mouse is not working. I can drag it, or just you just drag it here. Then you can give it after you've dragged it here, you can now come here, then say add user script, change the name, icon name. You can bring in, you can see I have a shelf here, though the script is not, I didn't type any script. It's just for you to understand what I'm trying to say. So I can change this icon here, change it to another thing. You can see this is changing. So if I select it, it should change from here. So you can have series of shortcuts or your own script. Instead of rerunning the script, all you have to do is just go to your shelf and click on the icon. So you'll be able to run the script from that place. So that is for scripting or for shelf. So for hotkeys, which like I said, it's the same thing as shortcuts. So you can come to Windows and settings and come to hotkeys editor or hotkey editors. So it brings it in. You can see all these green ones, they are the ones that are activated already. So say I can come enter application command, say to assign for duplicates, you want to assign a keyword or a short key for that. Duplicate. So see, duplicate has what? Has returned. So I can change it back to Control D. So that is from return. I turn it to Control D and save and close. So now if I want to duplicate this, I can Control D. You can see that's the duplicate. So basically that is how you assign keys. So assuming you've been say create, you want to create, you go to here and say create. So you want to find the short key for it, or you want to assign the short key for it, or a shortcut. So all you have to do is go to that place and assign it. So anytime you want to duplicate, or let's say I want to extrude, yes, extrude for instance. So if I go to face, select the face and I want to extrude, I can basically just press Ctrl E to extrude. That's an extrude. Ctrl E for extrude. So instead of having to go to I think mesh, let me go back to animation or modeling, mesh to extrude. You see, so shortcut is just Ctrl E. So that is how to go about assigning hotkeys, shelves, and removing panels, or editing or customizing your panel, or generally customizing your work interface. Basically, that's how to go about it. I think I've spent a lot of time, and I said I wasn't going to spend too much time. So that is it, assigning or customizing your workspace. Guys, we'll be meeting again, and I say bye bye.